Welcome to the LDN radio show, brought to you by the LDN Research Trust. I'm your host, Linda Elsiegood. I have an exciting lineup of guest speakers who are LDN experts in their field. We will be discussing low-dose Naltrexone and its many uses in autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. Thank you for joining us. This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. Today my guest is Francesca from Italy, who takes LDN for MS. Thank you for joining us today, Francesca.
Oh, thanks to you, Linda. Thank you. It's an honor to participate in this interview. Thanks.
Oh, fantastic. First of all, can you tell us when you were diagnosed with MS?
When? Well, this happened last year, and in June. So, as you know, it gets really hot in Italy. And so the summer has started, and I remember that for a week I started losing my sensation to the tip of my fingers, in my hands, but also on my feet. And by the end of the week, it had covered my whole hands and feet, and also parts of my body, my legs and my torso. So I decided to go to the A&E and just, tell them about the symptoms. I didn't have any pain, but at the same time, that was really weird, and I didn't know if it was a circulation problem. I really had no idea. And they did a CAT scan, but they said, because nothing appeared, they said, you need to do an MRI. And I just wanted to get out of the hospital, so I came back home, but then I went back just the day after, and they did the MRI, and that's how I was diagnosed. They also did a lumbar puncture. So the doctor who told me the diagnosis said to me, yes, the lumbar puncture reveals that these IgG antibodies are very high. Oh, I can't remember actually if I'm saying that right. But so she said, yes, that I had MS.
Mm-hmm. And what treatments were you offered at that time?
Okay, so at the hospital, because I was admitted and I stayed there for a week, they gave me, of course, cortisone for 5 days. And they told me that the cortisone would have a full effect at the end of a full month. And that's true, that happened. But then I had my first appointment with the neurologist, and she decided to give me Tecfidera. And that was, I think, end of July, early August. But I didn't take it, not until December. And the reason is that I was a bit afraid of the side effects. So I decided to wait until December when I was home. My home is Sardinia, because I don't live at home. Just because I wanted to have someone, my mom, in case I had some reactions to the medication. And after 10 days, I decided to discontinue it. I would get really red on my face, and it was a bit hard on my stomach. And I was also warned that it had pretty hard side effects, like your white cells can go really down. So I was really wary of that. And because I was already taking LDN, I decided to discontinue Tecfidera. So I only took it for 10 days, but that's it. That was it. Mm-hmm. So at the moment, and I still am only taking LDN as treatment.
And when you first started, did you notice any introductory side effects?
When I started with LDN, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I did. And actually, I have to tell you, Linda, it's not the first time I started taking LDN. You see, I work as a fertility care practitioner, and I worked in Galway in collaboration with Dr. Boyle, and he treats especially couples with infertility. Oh. And he would give LDN to people who had PMS, for example, and I suffered from PMS. And he gave me that LDN. So I actually started taking it, I think it was 2009, and I discontinued because of insomnia. I couldn't sleep. Now, of course, because the reason is much different and more critical, I kept taking it, and I suffered from insomnia, for the first month or a bit more. So I will wake up at night and just stay awake for 3-4 hours. But that just lasted maybe 1 or 2 months. I can't remember exactly. And finally that disappeared. And then vivid dreams. I really, really had very vivid dreams. Not nightmares, no, but very vivid. And I think also a bit of constipation. I think that was related to the LDN. And it lasted for just a period, a few months, and then that disappeared as well. Now, I'm not sure if this is related to LDN, to be honest with you, because it is not the first time in my life that I experienced it. But sometimes a few times, maybe 5 or 6 in total, I would go to bed and start feeling my heart pumping in my throat. But there, I don't know if I can say that was an LDN side effect, to be honest. But that's about it. So yes, at the beginning, in the first year, the first few months I had these side effects. One more thing I had was migraine, so headaches. So I asked he's the doctor I used to work with. He's actually a friend. He's the one who prescribes LDN to me. I asked him, could these headaches be related to LDN as a side effect? So he said he could, and to drop the doses to 3 milligrams. But you know what, Linda, I was scared. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I rather, because I could see that I didn't have any more poussé, with MS since taking LDN. So I didn't really want to drop the doses, afraid that I could have another symptom. So I just resisted. I said, well, no, I'll just keep on taking 4.5 milligrams. And so I have to say now it's been since August that I didn't experience any headaches anymore.
Right.
So that was good. Yeah.
So when you first started, what dose did you start on? Did you start on the higher dose?
Oh, good question, Linda. You know what? I can't remember if I started from 0.5 or 1 milligram. And I remember that every week I had to raise it maybe of 1 milligram. To be honest with you, I can't remember exactly. I got this from the pharmacy who gave me LDN. So wait a second, I think I can get it because I cannot remember.
It doesn't matter.
The dose, yeah. Let me see. They sent me instructions. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I don't remember that
That's
now.
okay.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yes. Sorry. No, that's it. I started at 0.5 milligrams daily, and I increased by 0.5 milligrams every week. Yes. Okay. Yeah, 0.5.
Good. Okay. So.
Yeah.
This time when you took it, you felt it was successful for you?
When I started taking it, you mean?
Yes, because you took it previously, didn't you?
Oh, you mean in 2009?
Yes. So how did it compare this time?
Yeah, that first time I couldn't really see the effect because I discontinued after maybe 1 or 2 months. But this time, I noticed, of course, that, so I started taking it in July last year, right? And since then, I didn't have any more poussée. So I didn't have any, I didn't lose my sensation in my limbs. I used also to have, I don't know, what you say, some disorder with the eye.
Optic neuritis, probably.
And, the neurologist could see that my eye would go very fast when I looked on my right side. So I don't have that anymore. So I think that, yes, the LDN had a good effect on me. And the reason I'm saying this is also because March this year, 2017, I did a second MRI, the second after my diagnosis, and it showed no worsening. So there were no new areas, and there were no worsening of this area that were already affected by the demyelinarization.
So what would you say LDN has done for you now in total?
Okay, yes, I can tell you that. I feel much more energy. So during this year, there were, in a month, let's say, there were 10 days where I was feeling bad, okay? I wasn't feeling okay. Maybe there were the headaches or I was really tired, because we know that tiredness is one of the symptoms of MS. But in the last few months, the level of energies has been quite steady throughout the month. If there are days of tiredness, there are maybe 1 or 2 or 3 in a month, which is a great improvement for me. And I can go about my day and going out maybe 2 or 3 times out of my house and back without feeling the exhaustion and feeling not that tired, which is great. I mean, it's a big improvement for me. I can go to the gym in the morning and arrive at the end of the day and not feeling tired or exhausted. I mean, let's say 27 days out of 30 or 31, which is great for me. So I think it really helped overall my whole well-being, of course, and then stopping the progression of the MS. And I'm saying this because I had symptoms every year up until 2016. I didn't know that. I was only diagnosed 2016. But looking back, I could see that I had symptoms every year from 2011, 2012 until 2016. And now it's been a year and a half without any symptoms.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if you had to... Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying, it's been great.
So if you had to score your quality of life on a scale of 1 to 10 before starting LDN, 10 being the best, what would it have been?
Before starting LDN? Well, I would say between 6 and 7.
Okay, and what would you say it is now?
Oh, definitely 8. Right. 8, maybe going to 9. Yes.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah. So what would you say to other people with MS who are thinking of trying LDN?
Well, I'll tell you what, I would, and I of course, because of MS, I started also meeting other people, first at the hospital and then here in Rome at the Association of People with MS. I tell them openly what I take. And I don't, maybe with people with MS, but also people with other autoimmune diseases I know, I have no problem saying what I take, and that actually, yes, it has side effects, but they're not that hard as other medications on your body. And I would say that it's safe enough to try. It's safe enough to try out. But of course, always with your neurologist advice and prescription and someone who follows you. In fact, when my neurologist is aware that I stopped taking Tecfidera and I take LDN. So every time I have an appointment with her, she asks me what I take, and I keep her telling her that I still am LDN and omega-3 and vitamin D3. So it's always good to take LDN, but always with a neurologist who takes care and follows you regularly. So, yeah. And I have a friend, for example, she has another different kind of autoimmune disease, which is ME. Tell her, I send her links to the LDN Research Trust website, or if I see an article or that Facebook page that talks about, or even just experience of people taking LDN, I send it to her and say, listen, why don't you try? Why don't you ask a neurologist to have a prescription and just try, Because side effects are hard at first, but if you keep on and you go on taking it, they will disappear little by little. And I think overall you get a better quality of life.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, thanks. Thanks to you, Linda. It's been a pleasure.
This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. Any questions or comments you may have, please email me, Linda, Linda, at ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciated your company. Until next time, stay safe and keep well.